funny. Well, let's see what we can figure out here.
I think we're going to be clearing here shortly. Be a couple minutes, yeah, we'll head that way as soon as we can. 115 copy. Take it up. West box coming under.
Somebody's out in this parking lot sort of jumping up and down. Did you notice that?
Just out of the corner of my eye.
Yeah. I don't know that she's celebrating the rain.
2007, are you close for there?
Well, something's going on here. She could be intoxicated.
325, we're on the scene.
Let's see what we got going here.
County 147.
Hi, everything okay?
You okay? You all right?
2007, I'm close
sure?
for her right now, but nobody's telling me who is shooting out here. Proceed.
That's Pat. That's Mike somewhere.
What did I lose? I mean,
Shots fired at Billy's. 857 Grand. We got an off-duty guy working there. She didn't want her help. Well, she's yelling at this guy over here. So anyhow, our off-duty deputy, Mike Martin, working at Billy's on Grand. Some shots fired. It says he can't find out. He doesn't know who the shots fired are coming from.
305.
But
You had just been mentioning earlier.
Supervisor did speak with the
Hadn't
female
had a
party
chance
saying
to get
that
up
she
there
did not
yet.
need any
Usually
assistance. She
they're-
was just stressed out.
Usually they're
One of the policy was
you
trying
know,
to state that she was fine.
but I know, you know that parking lot behind that we were at last time where the 4 cars were?
Yep.
Tavern?
Yeah, behind Grand Tavern.
No, it was the Pier. What was the name of that place? The liquor store? The heck is it called? Start with a
It
P.
used to be Romali's. I can't think of what
Start
it
with
is
the P
now.
though, but
307.
Tony Dean will tell me if he's still listening what the name of that. That's where they probably shots were coming from.
The suspect vehicle was a black Acura that went eastbound on Grand. Suspect vehicle was a black Acura lasting eastbound on Grand. What do we got?
Another black Acura.
Yeah, I hope we do. Tony, I hope you didn't release that
Nobody
one.
was hit.
Clear.
Well, we better go over there and help find the black Acura. It's probably gonna go downtown though.
Maybe the Alleries.
Galleries, yeah.
Information squad now shots fired in the west from 857 Grand. Suspect vehicle is a black Acura lasting eastbound on Grand. No further at this time. Information at 149.
Well, the one they towed and searched earlier today from Winnipeg is still in the impound lot.
27. 27. Transporting a male to 1076 LaFond. 1076 LaFond at 150. Well, 11. 180 then route to EOT, and this will be clear assisted. I'll be en route to Billy's.
We got more Mountain Dew from those girls right in the back. I forgot about that.
Ah, you ready for one?
Grab it. Yeah. You gotta stay sharp, right? Gotta stay sharp.
I gotta do my seatbelt.
Okay, I think I need a Twinkie too. To be honest with you. Either that or we gotta,
9121.
gotta stop for a cherry pie. We haven't stopped much
91.
tonight. We haven't really had a break.
Squad, clear report.
Uh,
151.
So I also want to tell a story. There used to be a YMCA
81,
over here in Arcade. Remember the YMCA?
Oh, yeah.
I took my first swimming lesson there.
I have a call 1508 20th Avenue Northwest. There's a blacked out vehicle that approached the cops trailer. It's parked on the block.
Swimming,
Flashlight.
8 years old, beginners. The YMCA.
There's a bright spot to this.
Okay.
You can clear 95.
Do you know that it was just boys? Do you know that back when they first developed those pools with the filters, they made you swim naked?
No, I didn't know that.
It's the gospel truth. Gospel truth. So you had to take your swimming lessons naked as an 8-year-old. That's historical fact. And very embarrassing. Last day when the parents came to watch you to see if you passed, you had to swim along the side of the pool. You got to put a suit on. But because they were worried about
2164. Okay, transport.
2164, go again.
2164. We're transporting one juvenile female from our location to 2026.
it was just a historical fact,
Street,
right?
759.
Ah, you make me laugh. You tell great stories.
Well, I mean, no one would believe it nowadays. How stupid. Truth is, in John Glenn, in 7th grade, when I was 12 years old, they were still doing that for swimming lessons, for
Really?
gym class. Yeah. It had something to do with ruining the filters. You didn't want a lot of kids had cutoffs and the fiber would, get into the filter.
I suppose.
I don't know.
323.
Weirdest thing ever. Teaching kids to swim by skinny dipping.
223, Company North Region 754.
Actually, those John Glenn Pool, I ended up lifeguarding there years later. Because I was mostly a lifeguard when I was younger. John Glenn Pool, Silver Lake, and North St. Paul.
305.
Taught a lot of kids how to swim out there, but I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but John Glenn Pool and Maplewood Pool passed on a referendum by one vote. One vote. That's how they got built. Because they went to the public to decide if they should build them.
One vote.
One vote.
Copy 315, I'll show you clear.
Another example of the importance of voting.
325, I'll show you now to 1740 Euclid Street. Caller minutes requesting police respond, stating that there is a female party who fell down the stairs. Some believes that it was intentional in order to harm herself. Female party is agitated.
So we're southbound on Jackson. Apologize. Going into downtown just to see if we can come up with a black Acura somewhere near Allery's. It's the only bar left that's open after Billy's and the Tavern, and so if they're gonna hook up with any friends at all, it would be down there.
We just turned south on Jackson from Akron, crossing over Pennsylvania right now.
Yeah.
Those two bars at the corner of Jackson and Akron,
Classics.
back shortly after I came on, we were all taught how to process for fingerprints back when we came on.
Yep.
And
I still got my fingerprint kit in my office.
do you?
I saved it.
So, and we'd process for fingerprints routinely at burglary scenes and sometimes auto thefts. Well, one of those bars one night, there was a burglary where they went in through the roof. And while they were doing the burglary, we could tell that they had sat at the bar having some beers.
Fascinating.
So I committed a cardinal sin that I was told never to do, but I picked up one of the beer bottles to dust it for fingerprints
Yeah.
by sticking my finger in the neck of the bottle.
That seemed to make sense.
Makes sense? on the surface.
There's no DNA back then.
And as I started dusting it with the powder,
Yep.
that knocked it off my finger. It went, and I could see there was a perfect fingerprint on it. And it went straight to the floor and shattered into hundreds of pieces. And I lost the fingerprint.
That's not good.
No.
Yeah, that's happened.
So this black Acura fired shots up by Billy's bar,
27, can you recode this at
Billy's on
EPD?
Grand, but no one was hit.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know at this point. It wasn't apparently in there because we have an off-duty deputy working there, and he reported just hearing the shots. So it doesn't sound like it was necessarily
Right, it was just in the area of the
area.
bar.
But there's a couple other places that it could be.
115, copy and route to the Highland Appliance Center for an alarm. Covers the kitchen motion.
So I'm not very good with cars, but I know that was a black Acura that was seen at earlier today. You know what? I mean, it's a little larger than that car, right?
Not necessarily.
Hi, are you still on the phone?
Actually, the second one in line might be.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just going to press in. Let
See
me
how
know when I
crowded
should
it is?
come down.
Oh, that's crowded. This is a very crowded.
$69.21 traffic.
Not an Acura.
6921.
That's a Toyota.
Put me out at Larkin Fulham with Minnesota license Edward Mary Victor 391.
I never
Okay,
know
second.
how victims or witnesses of shootings can identify a car that fast when it's driving by.
Can I get another spot started?
6910 will be around.
Copy.
Gotta figure out a way to get our windshield clearer for these viewers. It's get better if I use a little bit of
Juice.
juice. Yeah. What time is it? 1:59. Yeah, this place is gonna start emptying out pretty fast.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, me too. I'm going to lay right up Dole Street.
I just want to go again.
T190 disregard.
Copy.
Yeah, it's got a strange feel to it, right?
It does.
I
There's a little-
I don't actually feel safe sitting that close. Do you?
No.
It,
Maybe.
so many people with that didn't seem to like us.
6921 purple.
Felt like a little bit of tension in the
Yeah,
air.
let's sit over here instead. Get a better picture of.
Yeah, I like this better.
Oh. Yeah, the original owner here at Al, he's such a great guy.
It's an Acura?
180 EOC. Have a good night. Cool.
No, that's a BMW. Never mind.
lot of happy screaming going on.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so I got to tell this little history. Al Basie, who used to own this, played for the Chicago Bears in the 1940s. He was pretty tough. Some people called him an SOB. 1949, he partnered with Larry Leonard to run Allery's Bar. By the 60s, only he owned it.
I think it was on Wabasha back then, wasn't it?
It originally was up there, but he was still alive when it moved down here.
Mm-hmm.
In 2005, he passed away. But got a picture of him in the online there when he played for the Bears. Kind man. Always treated law enforcement good.
Yeah, big supporter of law enforcement. So was his son who took it over.
And a supporter of firefighters, too.
Mm-hmm.
After September 11th,
8190.
a lot of firefighters would hang here as well.
There was a time when there were squad car doors from all over the country hanging from the ceiling in there.
Yeah,
I
there
can find
was.
out.
You're right. Forgot about that.
2164.
2164.
We're going to have a change of plan. I'm transporting my juvenile to the Hilton Garden next door. You can show me arriving, and you can change this to a dispute and clear advised.
Whenever there were out-of-state officers here in town on
315.
an investigation or to take a fugitive back to their jurisdiction,
Yeah.
this was always a spot where we made sure to take them.
Caller advising that her 11-year-old son is damaging property inside of the residence, also arguing with our caller.
Yeah, we used to host some of the survivors of the 9/11 towers came here, and we hosted them for some of the parades,
204.
and we would visit with them here.
Nice.
Terrible thing.
204.
343 firefighters passing away.
It was horrible.
I'll never forget that number. Just imagine running down the stairs while the firefighters are going up. And then after you get out of the building, it collapses, knowing that they're all in there.
And they went there knowing that was probably going to happen. And they went
I
anyways.
don't know. They might have known it was a possibility, but who would think those buildings are actually going to come down on themselves like that? That was unbelievable. So we're hanging here in part because we had a shooting up at Billy's, and we know outside of Billy's by the tavern up there, we know some of the clientele from Grand Avenue comes down here later at night. Because some bars close at 1:30, some close at 2:30.
8190 is not related to your call you're on.
And as soon as the earlier bars close up, the ones that stay open late fill up.
Now, this is the only one I think when we decide citywide that stays open till 2:30.
Yep. I think this is it. So for those of you just tuning in, we're just sitting outside Allery's Bar. Just hoping our presence helps keep the peace.
That's the whole goal. Just keep the peace. Keep intoxicated people from doing something stupid.
There's nothing break and start towards 683 Bedford, or a man down, be in front of the address.
2164.
4710 Cumberland, room 02, copy.
329.
Good. Copy. When do disconnect when no answer on callback?
Oh, the first to yawn, 207. Maybe you were yawning earlier, I don't know.
I yawned earlier. I can't lie.
2164. Can you update
I'm wide
the
awake
location
now.
of 139?
Pardon me?
I'm wide awake now.
Yeah, sorry, copy.
207.
Copy.
Kind of wishing I'd have grabbed a hot dog or something on one of our stops.
Yeah, we should have got there before.
27.
We should have got to Holiday for a hot dog.
27.
We didn't stop much.
First
though.
was 124. At 207. 4124.
I wonder when the
Can you put me
trend
on
started of
ATN in front of 715?
wearing pants with a lot of holes in them.
With Bravo Hotel Juliet 260.
It's come and gone a couple of times.
Good night.
My daughter would always,
316.
you know,
You can send me 329's call.
she's older now, but
Copy 28.
what was the bar over by the Hoonan that used to be busy like this? Was it the Hoonan?
Hunan Garden.
Hoonan Garden?
Yeah, that was a hot spot for a while.
I think it's fair to say that from our viewpoint, we're looking in the window here, that of the 75 people that were inside, not many had masks on. Would you say that?
I would say that.
A couple of them. Not many. Ooh. Just gonna pull down, pull back.
329, we're close Boston Medics. We're in Unit 1.
329, copy, can be go for medics. And you'll be in Unit 1 at 210.
Looks like a 40-year-old male claiming of having breathing issues related to COPD.
I think that's an Uber, huh? Maybe not.
Yep, I think it is.
Copy at 211. Three 115.
Always a wise choice when you do.
Just to advise your caller stated the two
One
going to be
too
waiting
many.
outside. Line is disconnected and giving voicemails and callback.
Another disorderly call at the Marlins Park Sports Bar. I don't think that's possible. They were emptying out of there. I'm just gonna hang here for a few minutes.
Yeah, I think this is a good spot to be.
8195.
8195.
Just pretend like we're Ubers.
I'll be primary.
I need
Squad's
a,
report.
I need a purple light.
There you
210.
go.
Purple light for the Uber. Geez, that looks like that actor.
I know he was looking.
Yeah, he's a little older now than.
325, we're arriving.
I get nervous. Anybody's running out of a parking lot.
Copy at 211.
Let's see if the call comes out, because there aren't many people that run out of a parking lot. A little bit of arguing going on now, huh?
Yeah.
Maybe I could fix some of that moisture by putting some warm air on. What do you think?
That might help.
162.
162.
856 Carroll Avenue for a domestic. Caller's ex-girlfriend punched him in the face. Also tried to strike his vehicle with hers. She's driving a black Ford Focus. Suspect is a Michaela Huseman, black female, 24 years old, 5'6", wearing a black shirt, black pants. Tough is waiting in his car.
That's trying to help a little bit.
163.
Yeah, we got to put a little warm air up there just to get that moisture to evaporate. This guy okay? Am I honest?
I think so.
No, that doesn't do it too good, does it? So they ought to all be out by 2:30 at the latest. Is that an argument up there by that other car, or is it just nothing? No.
I think they're just talking.
This guy's got masks on, that's good.
How you doing?
Everyone 26 investigate.
7126.
Mountain Boulevard, Charles George, 163. Plates aren't matching. I don't know if it's occupied.
Is there another spot I can start today's number?
215.
215.
We're on scene last night in Lily. Where's the comp?
Everybody's having a hard time finding a ride.
PC believes that she was supposed to be outside as well. We're
Don't you
attempting
think?
call back and getting voicemail.
Yeah, and I don't get the appeal of
Yep, thank
standing
you.
in the rain talking.
Yeah.
215.
Looks like they're about to close up. And anybody up in any listing to us, let us know what the disposition on the sports bar.
7126. The plate's going to be Charles George, 163.
How you doing?
Doing well, gentlemen. How are you guys doing?
Good. All quiet? All
As
quiet?
quiet as it can be.
Are they still in there or not?
No, the bar's clear now.
Okay.
Oh,
That's
good.
the last one.
What time do you clear? I know you get them out by 2:30, or what's your goal? Or how do
We
you
tried 215.
2:15? That's good.
But-
And how does it work? What time? What's the last time you let them come in?
Huh? It really depends on.
You let them come in at 1:30 if they come from.
Yep.
From
Tonight I
Montgomery?
actually shut the door at like 1 and went to 1 and 1 out. We were starting to get too full.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah, we came by here earlier.
And you know,
Well, it rained. We have a patio in the back, right? So we got
Okay.
rushed in. There's a tent out there, and then they had pulled the umbrellas for the tables for the tents for the tables.
you know, we're not health inspectors, but obviously you got a lot of glass there. We didn't see a whole lot of masks going on in there.
So the health inspector was through on like 10 days ago.
Yeah.
When we had talked about, he said, "Well, what do you want us to do? Like, we have the sign in the front door. We have free masks in there.
Yeah.
Everybody at the front door, like, do you have a mask?" And they say, "Yes, put it on." They say, "No, like, there's one right here. Grab one."
Yeah.
You know, and he's like, he told us that we were doing exactly what we're supposed to. We don't want you guys getting the connotations over it.
City, state, or county health department? Do you know what it was?
Well, so St. Paul doesn't have a city one.
it's the county one. County
Well,
city is
they work
merged.
for Minnesota.
Yeah, they were Minnesota.
Yeah,
people?
MDH.
MDH. Okay.
And truthfully, if I'm being honest,
Yeah.
the issues really after about 12:45.
After what?
About 12:45.
Okay, you mean because the numbers or because there's compliance earlier?
Because of the demographic shifts.
Yeah.
In fact, starting tomorrow, we're going to start closing at 1 a.m.
Okay. Well, everybody closes at 1 and then they all come to your place. You know that, right?
Yeah, well, so like it's been like a shell game because like
Yeah.
McGovern's was open until 2 weeks ago, and
Right.
then Billy's open, like, you know what I mean? So now that we've been the only one open until 2 around here that I know of for the last week and a half, and it's not worth it. So we're gonna start closing at 1.
All right. All right, we're gonna run. Looks like you got it taken care of.
I appreciate it, gentlemen.
Thanks
Stay
a
safe.
lot.
have a good night.
one. Have a good one. Sounds like the Audi that you're looking for from the shooting might be over at the Mounds Park Bar. That's the intel we just got while we're sitting there. Switch back to channel 3.
Well, which shooting was that with an Audi?
Oh, the shooting up on Grand. Oh, that was
it
maybe an Audi. Maybe
That was an Acura.
Maybe they meant Acura. I don't know. It says Audi here.
115 will take it and cancel it.
I don't know if it's entered wrong or if it is an Acura
That's 115.
or if it's related. But that place is closed down anyhow, right?
Right.
What are you looking at there, partner?
I can't read it. I was trying to read the
Oh,
screen, but I can't read it.
Yeah, it's a terrible night to be homeless. I mean, it's not terrible, but wet, soaking rain.
Mm-hmm.
Something ain't right about that car. Here, hold on
Yeah,
to this.
I think you're
Did
right.
you see that one there?
Yep.
Let's see what we got here. Oh, where my flashlight is?
Here, take this one.
Yeah, he looks good. Where the hell I put it? Yeah, he losing the flash.
7126, checking your status.
Nice maneuver.
Information file central and user retired. Dispatcher console 2 at 219.
White corridor sedan possibly struck 2 parked vehicles. But
Oh, my flashlight.
Never. Call their 5 tax flags.
Got it?
Yeah.
So we're eastbound 94, going to get off on Mounds Boulevard here.
Something's still going on over there. We're just going to check out the Mounds Park situation.
Thanks, 29. 325.
325.
Clear. We'll start Johnson.
Copy 220.
I want to personally thank Pat for putting up with my driving.
Squad 8196.
Pat's going to get his license back. Since he retired, he doesn't have his license. But once he gets his back,
809, can you say that to me?
then I'm going to let him torture me.
Copy from assist fire 649 Old Highway 8 Northwest for a fire alarm at
So,
220.
And we're not talking driver's license, we're talking
No,
peace officer
peace
license.
officer license, because he let his license lapse when he retired, and then he came back to work as an analyst, and I want him to get his license back because he's got so much experience. I want to get him back working on the street, and then I can be the passenger. He can be the driver. But the thing is, when you drive like a police officer, it's not always the most enjoyable ride when you're the passenger. So when you're in charge of the car and control the car, you know, it feels, you got to have a lot of trust with the guy that's driving. And in this case, I just want to thank you.
I feel like I'm in good hands.
Oh, thank you.
Take it as your road dealer.
My wife would prefer to be the driver.
Yeah.
But she's a pretty good driver too.
My wife Trish, who was a commander with the St. Paul Police Department, always drove. I was always the passenger.
Yeah, and for those of you that don't know, as long as Pat mentioned Trish, she tragically passed away from a long battle. Wasn't just actually that long when you think about it, but a tragic battle with cancer.
Yeah, I was unfortunately 9 months from diagnosis until she passed away.
Yeah. Terrible. She's a wonderful person. I remember her when she started as a parking enforcement officer, right?
Yep. Yep. About the best cop I ever knew.
She did a lot of good things for people too. All right, so we're back here at Mounds Park Sports Bar. I don't know what the hell's going on here yet, but two vehicles made threats are parked outside. Threats made by a black male in his 30s. We'll pull up, we'll see if these guys can tell us what the heck is going on. I just want to say those hats are very stylish. Those hats. We haven't seen any hats for a while out here, huh?
I have the specs on it, just keeps the rain
That's
off.
good.
That's why I always had to wear mine.
Don't say anything about the Chiefs because you're on live right now. So you know. We're live here all the way to it. We were here several times. What happened this time?
Stan said that they bounced a couple people out.
Yep.
People were outside, said that they were going to shoot up the place, or they were threatening to make some guns out here. So.
There wasn't an Acura scene here, was there? You know, from the shooting over, we had shots fired over on Grand by Billy's.
They said it was a white SUV and a white Audi.
A white, they're both white.
Yeah.
Okay, the ones over there in black.
Yeah, we're making rounds like every day here.
Yeah, we come here. We work every Friday, but this place has a lot of people, a lot of energy. But they've been closing a little early. Allery's is the only one staying open really late downtown.
You guys are closing early at 1. Not letting people in around midnight.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said they do let them in when they come from other bars. Well, thank you. Thanks for the
saloon shuts down at 10. So.
Yeah. All right, General MacArthur. Thank you.